It is Gwenna's fault that it has been able to be this much more efficient. Doesn't look efficient. Promise it is. I just need some red string.
Have you ever seen someone take a note on a piece of paper they're sitting on?
Raising a well-behaved child in this world requires strict discipline and punishment. Today, we will look...
No, we will not.
Hello and welcome to Childproof, a Pleasant Phantom production. I'm Tori Phantom.
And I'm Gwenna Lathland, and today's episode is brought to you by Bones Coffee. It's also brought to you by Counting Down.
Counting down to what?
21 days. There might be 104 days of summer vacation, but these kids have already burned through 83 of them. There are only 21 days left of summer vacation, and then these kids, who I love very, very much, go back to school.
I don't know how many days mine have left, but we're getting close. Also, how much math did you do there?
A lot more than I normally do.
Was that a Phineas and Ferb reference?
Yes. Yes, it was.
All right. Let's start the timer.
So we are doing an email roundup today. Why? Because there's 21-ish days left of summer and we are all starving for this change. I love my kids very much, but I also love when they go to school full time.
Yes. We thrive on routine and structure, and we struggle to create that during the summer.
Well, and it's not just the loss of, like, we could make routines, but what's nice about my kids going to public school is, yes, 98% of it is on their classroom teacher, but they also have their music teachers and the gym teachers and the counselors and the librarians and the lab teachers. And like, there's a bunch of different ways where this whole community is helping keep my kids structure and routine.
Yes.
They're sharing this idea. And for us, I am terrible at trying to figure out my kids' energy output. Like,
and especially when you have multiple kids, they have different outputs.
So like, either we get this point where we're like, yeah, we're going to do this thing. And then they get exhausted and tired and hangry and cranky because we used up all of our energy reserves way too early in the day. We have to be awake for a lot longer. And now everyone's mad about that.
Mood.
Or we don't have nearly enough ways to like discharge ourselves. So they're all friggin' live wires dancing around the puddle with not enough place to discharge it before everything explodes.
I'll tell you what, too, is that like two of my kids are just like me. Go, but like at home. And one of them is more of a cozy kid. I would rather just relax. And I'm like, that sounds really exhausting to just relax and sit. How do you do that? I get so antsy. But we just went to Philadelphia, and me and one of my kids, and my phone tracked between 10 and 15,000 steps a day. And the two of us were like, yes, let's do so many things.
Let's do more. That doesn't seem like enough
things. It sucks that my feet hurt because I want to do more. Yeah. We'd like go back to the hotel to relax because we're like, man, we're exhausted. We'd sit there for 5 minutes and then let's go do something. I can't just sit here.
Can we go be relaxing while moving?
Can we just go sit and look at a historical thing? Can we just do that?
But yeah, I look forward to school because my family especially really does good with routine. It's shocking that a family full of probably neurodivergence needs
as a family full
structure.
It's a family full of confirmed neurodivergencies. We need this structure and routines.
There's only two of us with confirmations, but like we look at our offspring and go, well, obviously.
That's my eldest had texted me when I was in Philadelphia. And they were like, I'm looking forward to you coming home because no one made me get out of bed this morning and I slept in until noon and I really feel weird about that. I don't like it. I'm like, the kid is like, Mom, I need you to come and give me rules and boundaries.
I need the structure. I cannot structure myself yet. I'm not there. My brain's not firing on those cylinders yet.
That's Jim thought that he was doing them a solid by like letting them sleep in. And they were like, no, I can't do it this way.
No, you broke it. No, I am also very excited. We talk about this every year. Just a shout out. If you are listening to this in August going, oh my God, why are they talking about back to school? So we are in the half of both Tori and I live in the half of the country that school runs August to May. And those of you who are very confused that we're already talking about school because it feels like your kids just got out of school like a week ago. That's because you are in the September to June crowd. Yep. But we talk about this every year. We start back in August, so that's what we're talking about right now. But it also means that I have the mountain of school supplies just sitting in my bedroom.
That's what I keep seeing y'all talk about in group chat, the school supply shopping, and I'm like, I need to do that. But I will say, you're going to be so proud of me, okay? Because
you
for
have
the
like
first,
a notebook for a child?
No, for the first, even better, for the first time in my life, okay, I had gotten like there was a big bulk sale that I did last year that like I got things on sale and I got way more than I needed and I didn't misplace it or not know where it is because I fixed an organizational issue in my laundry room because it's a big laundry room and I have like all this stuff. So when I got the school supply list, I went and I looked and I was like, now here's the only few things I need to get.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Who am I? I only needed
Tori.
to get a few things.
We love finding systems that work. We love a system that succeeds.
But don't even ask me about school clothes. So
well, yeah,
we're not there yet.
I do have. I do we have a censor button for me yet? Can I use a bad word? Okay, good.
Yeah,
because I am the luckiest bitch on the planet. You missed. Because
I was close.
Because what happened was my two youngest children, hit a growth spurt right at the end of summer.
Oh, you were so lucky.
I know. So currently they're all walking around. The boy has nothing but cutoffs because none of the pants. He's got the
your boy child is
ponytail.
a string bean. He is gonna be so tall.
But we had to break out the ponytail holders to wrap around the button hole so he could but we got 21 days. You've got like one pair of pants that if we need to go someplace, they fit pretty okay, and you just wear the boots with them, and then we won't notice that they're as short as they are.
It's fine.
The girl child, nothing but mini skirts. That's all she's got left. They're not supposed to be mini skirts, but she's bigger.
Everything that should be covered is covered. It's good enough.
We might have to put on a pair of shorts and don't lift your arms all the way up, but you're fine. It's summer. No one sees you.
That's what I have a Kohl's card that I use twice a year. I use it for school shopping in the summer, and then I use it in the winter time to start getting our summer type clothes, and that is twice a year. I bring it up because they have great sales. That's what I do, and I have to do that soon. But now my eldest has like a whole aesthetic, and I don't think Kohl's fits it. So we'll see where we go.
Yeah, the Kohl's wears off right around the teenagerhood.
But then it comes back as an adult.
It comes back, right?
Yeah,
right. But yeah, so I've got a giant pile of school supplies. I've got a giant pile of clothes because this year, because I am super lucky, they all hit their growth spurt all at the same time. We're just doing the day before school starts, I'm just taking everything out of their closet, putting it in the donation bin, and putting the entirely new closet in. There'll be some things that we can't wear yet because it's still 100 degrees, and that one's for when it's 30. But yeah, we happen to get a full wardrobe rotation. Now, what this means, I do have to acknowledge how this is going to work. It also means that the next growth spurt they have is going to be in 3 months, and I'm going to have to buy an entirely new wardrobe again.
Yes. That's generally how it goes. Yeah, that's we'll probably do our shopping soon-ish, or I'll wait until the last minute and panic that nothing will be here in time.
Well, let's be honest with ourselves, Tori.
Yeah, it's going to be the second one. But that's because this summer for us has just
we love a self-aware human.
Yeah. Listen, I had a bulk supplies from last year, okay? You win some, you lose some.
To baby steps.
Yeah,
we celebrate the things worth celebrating.
Yeah. And this summer for us has just not been a regular summer. It's been so absurdly unfun, except for the one trip that one of my kids got to take to go to a hospital, but we made the best of it. Like, we've had so many appointments and stuff. That's part of having a medically complex child. And so we'll make up for it when we can, where we can. But this summer has just been wild. But we're going to do a end of summer preschool episode coming up. We should probably get into email sooner than later on our email roundup episode.
So before we jump to the emails, I need to tell you about my coffee.
Please do.
This episode is brought to you by Bones Coffee Company. Today, my bookworm mug has rough weather. I'm holding it up for those of you who are watching it in video. It is oatmeal cream pie flavored, and it has Zero, the little ghosty dog
is so
from
cute.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
That they have Zero in the bag.
Yeah. So it's adorable and it's genuinely tasty. This one uses Arabica beans, but they have sustainably sourced coffee from the Rainforest Alliance certified farms. So they are ethically growing the coffee, ethically harvesting the coffee. They're roasting the coffee to perfection, and their flavors. If you like flavored coffee, Bones Coffee is the way to go. If you don't like flavored coffee, try their non-flavored and see what you like. But like,
it's good coffee.
This is what we drink exclusively in the house. So I was thrilled that they're sponsoring our podcast. You can save a little bit of money with our code Childproof10. You get 10% off your purchases. And it's not one of those 10% off first purchase. It's 10% off every time you use the code Childproof10. You can visit their website, bonescoffee.com, use our code Childproof10 and try Rough Weather, or any of their other fantastic flavors. Again, that's bonescoffee.com, and our code is Childproof10. See, that didn't hurt. Now we can do emails.
It didn't hurt at all. Actually, I want a cup of coffee. So this email comes from Kiara, and they say, "Hey guys, I love you both. We love you too. And every episode makes me laugh. I myself am a makeup artist, parent, and crazy hair color fan, which is most of what got me hooked in the first place. I've been with you from the beginning, but a quiet listener. I'm so stoked with what you're doing with your podcast, and I'm so proud of the growth you've both had. I want that when I grow up. LOL. But I have a question that I have no idea if you can answer. My partner took a job where they're a month on, month off away from home, and my 6-year-old daughter has permanently moved into my bedroom for bedtime. She's gotten really clingy when I leave for work part-time, and I try my best to reassure her that I'm not going anywhere. For context, the same time my partner took this job, they came back with both of their parents for my daughter's birthday and left all around the same time. She feels abandoned. I'd love to get y'all's take on this and what I could do to help her navigate all of this. I want to responsive parent right. Thank you for reading this far, and I truly appreciate the work you do." That's a tough one.
It is. It is. Now, the first thing I want to say is the part of this email that jumped out strongest at me was, I want to responsive parent right. You're already doing that, babe.
Yeah.
You are already considering the emotional well-being, the emotional maturity of your kiddo. You're giving grace for that emotional maturity only having had 6 years of practice.
And I am positive that your 6-year-old didn't come to you and say, "I'm feeling abandoned." I am positive that you realized that that's what's happening.
Together. And now you're reaching out to whatever resources you can reach, looking for, hey, can I get a little support? Babe, you are responsible
You're doing
for parenting right, even if your kid has encountered a struggle.
Yes. And even if everything you're doing doesn't seem to be helping, you're still doing it right.
You're still doing it right. So let's just knock that right out there.
Let's just start there. Yeah.
We're already responsibly parenting right.
Yes.
There's no one right way to parent. There's lots of wrong ways. And I feel like we've had several episodes discussing those. But there's no one right way. There's a ton of them. And you're doing one of those. So good job, Kira.
Yes.
Now, as far as your 6-year-old feeling abandoned, again, we got a disclaimer. Neither of us are therapists. We are not counselors.
However,
we're not licensed.
Now that we are saying that, it is also important to note that there are play therapists for children of that age. There are different types of therapy for kids of that age, and that is always a resource you can lean on to if you have access.
Yes. And even if that's not something that is within your reach or accessibility, sometimes just going into those group settings really does help. Look for playgrounds. Look for indoor playgrounds. Look for ways that your child can interface with temporary friends. So then she sees that come and go moment where I see these people for a little bit and then we don't see each other. And then they're still there and they still like me and they still love me and they still play with me, even though we haven't seen each other for a long time. It's one tiny little nugget of experience that might help. I'm not saying that it will. I'm not saying that this is like what you have to do, but maybe finding ways. Go to your library. A lot of times they have a ton of free programming, especially for 6-year-olds. ton of free programming. There are free ways to do it as long as you've got transportation to it. But maybe putting your kiddo in places where you do have these temporary relationships that start and stop and start and stop. Yeah. Dad's coming home. Okay.
And on the home front of that, it can be helpful, like, of course, with the reassurances, but also I would ask your kiddo about how she's feeling. I'm sure you are, right? That's clearly you have figured out, like, this kiddo is feeling abandoned, but to continuously have those talks about what is it that you're feeling, or get creative with your lines of questioning. But also it can be so helpful not to just figure out how they're feeling, but to empathize in solidarity. I miss daddy too. I miss him too. What can we do if we're both missing daddy? Maybe we can draw a picture of daddy. Maybe we should draw some pictures for daddy. Can we write him a letter? What is daddy's favorite
here's some
book?
resources that I haven't looked up. So I apologize for not doing my advanced work, but I want you to go look up resources for military parents. Especially if you've got this routine, repeated month on, month off, we'll be gone for 30 days and then we'll be home for a long time. But then it feels like we have to repeat the process. And when you're 6, time moves differently than when you're 36, right?
Yes.
Look up resources for military parents, because if anyone knows how to cope with on again, off again absences of one and or both parents, it's military. Military spouses, military parents, and military families, they get the temporariness of relationships and how to maintain those.
That's a thing that we frequently talk about here is routines and routine change. And this is a big routine change. And it's going to take a lot of time for it to become a routine, because those are big chunks of time. And so just be patient with yourself and with your kiddo. And I also just want to leave space here to assure you that if you're feeling frustrated with the clinginess, if you are not feeling all positive all the time about it yourself, that's okay. That's normal. You're allowed to have feelings too, and they don't always have to be good. Like, if you're frustrated, that's all right. That's normal. Yeah. And I just hope that the adjustment period gets better for you guys, and that when daddy is home for that month, maybe that's going to be a big help too. Yeah. During that time.
All right. Our next email is from Anna. Greetings. I love your podcast and routinely take notes. On the July 15th podcast, Media Readiness, I felt like I needed to pop in some info that someone else is probably already mentioning. Actually, no, Anna, you're the only one to mention it, which is why we're reading your email. For YouTube Kids, there is a setting for approved channels only, or even approved videos only. I fully agree that YouTube Kids can be an absolutely stupid rabbit hole if it's age guidelines only. I've had to show parents the setting, and they're almost always surprised that they can have more control. The Amazon Fire with the kids games that's auto load have a lot of brain rot. I'm sure there's settings for better control, but it's way less intuitive. And absolutely PBS Kids for the win. Also the ability to download games and videos to help for the long car rides. Thank you too for all you do, Anna. Anna, thanks so much. I have not looked into this, but be sure to go check your YouTube Kids if you are YouTube Kids users for that channel setting and video approval. That's amazing.
Anna, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. If you were not aware, friends, we just did a media readiness episode, and we were pretty hard on YouTube Kids, and so we stand corrected about how
much control
you have, and so I love that we are now able to correct that. So,
but I do agree, the Amazon Fire preloads are rough, man. They're
Yeah. We recently got some, and I do like the Parent app for it because I can take the content off of the tablets.
Yeah,
and I have been.
but also, we still stand a PBS.
Oh, absolutely, 100% of the time.
Please. This is just a call out. There's no need to do this, but if you've got, please go donate to your local PBS station. Our federal government has defunded PBS, and they are more dependent on viewers like you than ever before.
Yes, we the public can try to keep it going.
Yeah. So if you've got a moment, go show some love to your local PBS station. If you've got a few extra $1, please consider tossing a few of those their way.
Yes. Now, for our next email, it's actually going to be a comment because now that we have video and access to everything, and we can now expand our email roundups to YouTube comments and Spotify comments. Very exciting stuff. So this one here is a Spotify comment from Nerda Birdie, who says, academic librarian here. Folks don't generally know this, but if you have a state-funded university nearby, you may be able to go visit and borrow from their collection too. Depending on the university, that could mean books, DVDs, video games, board games, or even kits for story times or educational games for kids. For grown-ups, it often also includes on-site access to the databases, so you can download PDFs of research articles on special interests, your kids' needs, or whatever. P.S. Here are all of Gwenna's books on WorldCat, so folks can see what libraries near them have copies for them to borrow, and they included a link that we will put in the description.
Yeah.
I had no idea that you could access university libraries, and so I had to include that because I think that's a really great resource. And I feel like we just sing the praises of PBS and libraries all day, every day on our on Childproof, and we're gonna keep doing it.
And Biblophage, and Founded, because it turns out that PBS and libraries contribute to a lot of different things, including three very, 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 like our three podcasts could not be more different. And yet they all lean on the supports of PBS and public libraries and state colleges.
Yay!
So we're gonna jump back to an email really quickly. This one is from Peyton. This one says, hello, Tori and Gwenna. I'm currently listening to the episode on kid bedrooms and family spaces, and I thought I'd throw my 2 cents in. We are a wherever mom and dad are family.
That's my kids. Yep.
We don't have a living room in the sense that most would consider a living room to be. We have a couch in mom and dad's room, and when we want to watch TV, play video games, eat junk food while ignoring each other but being thankful for the opportunity to be together, etc., we sit on said couch. We converted what used to be our living room into a home gym because I was tired of cleaning a space that was never used. Like literally ever. The kiddos have toys in their bedroom and in the playroom, but they don't actually play in those rooms. They play wherever we happen to be at the time. Our Lego bricks live in the kitchen because they got carried back and forth and spilled by mistake one too many times for my brain. Anyway, I'm writing this pre-coffee. It's made, but I forgot where I said it. Mood.
Relatable.
So if it's incomprehensible, let's blame that. Nope, made perfect sense.
That's perfect sense.
I'm so glad I have the opportunity to listen to you two on the additional podcasts, and we'll be tuning in for every episode. Thank you for existing. Peyton, you're a genius.
Thank you for this email. This is the energy that I am trying to harness, because it's literally like making the space work for you.
Yes.
And not in a way that anyone expects it to. And very relatable on the kids are just going to be wherever mom and dad are.
Yeah.
I also have what I call duckling children.
I have 2 duckling children. The other one is just like his dad and I. It was like, I'll be in my room if you need me.
Yeah. That's my eldest. My eldest said it was hard to talk to me because everyone is always trying to talk to me at the same time. And I was like, I said we should get like one of those talking sticks, but the rule will be that I get to hide it for 1 hour a day. Because everyone at the same time, mom. Yeah, wherever I am, they are one step behind. So I feel that. But now I'm reconsidering what my living room could be.
I routinely hear those stupid seagulls from Finding Nemo. Yeah. Only they're not saying mine, mom.
Or worse, mom.
The sing song is the worst. Like, I whatever's gonna happen next, I'm not going to enjoy it.
Yes. Yeah. But I love that the home gym in the unused living room. Now I am going to be. You're
looking at that living room now, aren't you?
I am. I'm like, this room is our art room, but like, what if I moved that part? What if I readjusted everything in my house? Uh-huh. So thank you for inspiring me, Peyton. Chaos will ensue soon. And I guess more chaos, I really should say.
But hey, you finished your mural. Did you start a new one? I
finished my mural. Not yet.
I started one.
I know you did, and I love it. I have bought paint for a different wall in my living room, though. So
I love this.
Yes. So I'm going to give you 2 YouTube comments because Peyton mentioned our other podcasts, and these are comments on Childproof about said other podcasts.
We have 2 other podcasts on the Pleasant Phantom Network. One is Founded, which is the history you missed, focusing mostly on the American Revolution. And the second is Biblophage,
which is book reports in a way, but about reading and books and how
it's
great
for everyone
books
who
are
ever
created.
has had a favorite book.
Yes, and it's kind of I'm really enjoying it, and I haven't read any of the books that Gwenna's talked at me about yet. But I'm getting close.
Yeah,
I'm getting close. We're getting there. Yeah. So this comment comes from Tinenanus. That's my best approximation. Who says, "I truly don't care for revolutionary history, but the way Tori talks about it is so entertaining. I'll definitely be listening every time a new episode drops. I'm a good storyteller."
We've been talking about a couple different ways to like reinforce, to sort of encapsulate what we've talked about. I'm so excited for some of those.
Yes, I am so excited too. And I have posted videos on my personal social medias where I actually show the process of how the research gets done and the episodes get written. It's absolutely chaotic, and it is Gwenna's fault that it has been able to be this much more efficient. Doesn't look efficient, promise it is. I just need some red string.
Have you ever seen someone take a note on a piece of paper they're sitting on?
Several pieces of paper that they're sitting on. And our next comment here comes from Jan May, and it says, "I was a bedroom kid and a fellow book lover. There was a library that I could walk to, and I would carry stacks of books home all by myself. Also super excited to check out Biblophage now." So if you like books or history or gossip of 18th century old white men.
They might have been wet. We don't know.
They might have been wet.
Sometimes they were probably wet. It rains.
They were probably wet sometimes, yeah. Check out Founded. And if you want to hear about books, and here are currently, that's, I think, one of my favorite little bits in Biblophage. Every week we get book menus. Yeah. And that is where Gwenna and I both share what we most recently finished reading, what we are currently reading, and what we are reading next. And so you might get some new books to add to your to be read. Yeah. And that is, I mean, it's at the end of the episode. It's literally like the smallest segment, but I look forward to it every week because it is so fun to like hear what random books Gwenna is reading, and for Gwenna to laugh at the American history books that Tori is reading, because I'm reading. It's just with the most absurd and the most absurd and highly detailed titles that are incredibly long.
We stand Gordon S. Wood, by the way. If you don't understand what that means, maybe you should listen to Biblophage.
Yeah.
All right. So let's skip. Oh, well, I looked at what's next on the list, and it's another one about Biblophage. Liza McDonald left on Spotify. "I hope in Biblophage you interview authors. A great episode would be interviewing Jodi Picoult about her book topics and the banning of books left and right. Also review The Passage by Justin Cronin, whose name I may have mispronounced, and if I did, I'm sorry. The way he talks about his books is also very fascinating. I do hope to bring interviews onto Biblophage very, very soon, and we probably will be talking about banning books. I'm even wearing my banning book shirt. I had to get really far away from the mic from that, but it says ban fascists, read books.
I love that. But I do believe that when we get to interview authors, we're going to be asking authors about their favorite books too.
Authors. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm so excited for that. I would love to talk to Jodi Picoult though. Like that would be a dream. So if anyone knows Jodi Picoult,
if anyone has like, Jodi's email,
like just let us know. Okay.
Childproofmail@gmail.com.
Yes, we want to make that happen. So
by the way, this is in no way a request to like try to dox Jodi Picoult.
Do not do that. Just if you know a guy who knows a guy who works with Jodi Picoult, give them our email, childproofmail@gmail.com. Right.
Don't be weird. Don't make it weird.
We'll make it weird on our own.
We can do that all by ourselves. Thank you. We don't need your help.
Okay, so another email here. This one comes from... Nope, I don't even have a name here. They just wrote bye-bye at the end of their email. So I was like,
we'll respect your
assuming-
privacy.
I was assuming that meant we don't need a name involved here. So, okay. Hello, Tori and Gwenna. This email is not in response to an episode, but an episode request or question. I'm not sure if maybe you've done an episode on this or not. I haven't had the time to listen to the entirety of Childproof yet. That's
There's almost
totally
3
fair.
years of episodes.
It's
to be
a
fair.
lot of
It's a
episodes.
lot.
Yeah, we can't shut up. So take your time. But I was wondering if y'all have touched on the topic of anger or resentment towards your parents. I've recently been struggling with a lot of feelings towards my parents for some of the things that they've done during my childhood, living in an authoritarian household and having trauma from my parents. I'm going to give you a trauma dump here.
Trauma dump.
You deserve the fun trauma dump. Okay. So, and now becoming one and both sympathizing with them and being extremely angry with them, I have a lot of feelings and feel alone in them, and I feel extremely guilty for feeling them. Can you guys relate the same? Or have you touched on something like this before? I know we all have some kind of trauma from our parents, and all of us could be a little mad at them for it, but how do I cope or get over it? I don't want to be mad at them, and they're still a big part of mine and my little one's life. From what I've gathered, me and Tori seem to have had very similar upbringing, so I'd love to hear their story and feelings and both of y'all's input. I absolutely love the show, and I'm always excited for a new episode. You guys are wonderful parents and have provided me and so many others with valuable knowledge and a space to feel like a human again. I hope y'all have a good one. This email meant so much to me when I read it, and I was really excited to bring it to this episode. Because
Now, the first thing that we will say is
we are not therapists.
we're not therapists, but therapists do exist, and that's probably always going to be your first. It's the first thing we're always going to say. How do I deal with my feelings about this? If you have access to, if you have the ability to reach out to a therapist, you should do that.
Yes. It has
Everyone
been
needs therapy.
life-changing for me. It has been
Everyone needs
life-changing for me.
That being said.
That being said, the first thing that I want to say about this email is that you are not alone. You are not alone at all. And I empathize and sympathize with everything that you have said in this email, because also...
Trauma dump.
So, I can say in a personal way that growing up the way that I did, while I was growing up, it felt like the way that my parents were was like an inevitability. Like I never wanted to have kids of my own because I felt like if I had kids, then I would become a monster too. Like I could not fathom that my children or that my parents were choosing to treat us the way that they were, and that the things that were happening in this chaotic household, like that they had any control over it. I thought they must have been normal, great, loving people. And then when they became parents, it's something that you just can't control. And so I didn't even want to be a parent. And then I became a parent. And I was shocked at how easy it was to love my baby and how much I wanted to make them happy and do good things for them. And then my kiddo got to an age that I remembered being, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where things got really complicated. That's where I started to feel these feelings you're describing in this email, like this anger, because that's when it occurred to me.
How could you not love me? It's not that effing hard.
Yeah. And that's where I got the anger too, is because I realized as my kids started getting older, is like, you had a choice. And that, like, it broke something in me, I think, because I choose every day to be intentional with the way that I raise my kids. And I choose every day when I mess up to hold myself accountable for that, to try to do better. And like in that recognition of you did have a choice. But at the same time, I understand the other side of it too, because what access did they have to resources? So
Right.
It's in that same way of feeling like I am angry and I have sympathy. And I think the thing that I tell my kids all the time that you probably need to hear too, because I have to tell myself, two things can be true, even if they are opposite of each other.
I
So
can
yes,
understand and still be mad. I can get it and still be hurt.
yes, those two things can exist at the same time. I could have sympathy and empathy for you because being a parent is hard, being a person is hard. And when we were growing up, they did not have the same access to resources and tools and,
Or even just
knowledge
understanding.
Yeah.
We figured out more about how emotions work, the chemical processes happening in our body when we get stressed.
Yeah.
Our parents didn't have the access to the knowledge that when a kid is upset and screaming, they can't hear words. Their
Yes.
language centers are turned on. I know that. So it makes it super easy to go, oh, well, of course you're not hearing logic or answering my questions. You can't even understand the words I'm saying because
Yeah.
you're so messed up right now. You're
Right.
so up in your feels.
And our parents had trauma from their parents too.
Yes.
And therapy back then was not something people talked about. That was a shameful thing. And so
Right.
like
it was only for the truly messed up, which is not
which is
how it works.
not. Yeah. And it's we've changed our opinion on that as well. And so you can have all the empathy and sympathy, but what I recommend that you do is not use that empathy and sympathy to excuse it. Because that can be a hard thing to kind of sit with, is that I have empathy and I'm still mad. You don't need to feel guilty for being mad because that's your story too.
Yeah.
You're having empathy and sympathy for their story. You need to have it for yourself and
Right.
allow yourself to feel it, because if you don't allow yourself the space to move through your feelings, you can't move on from them, and it's harder to cope with, and it's a quick line to shame. And so I totally understand where you're coming from, and I think it's okay to have space for both. And like, as someone in my 30s, very, very recently, my mom and I are in a better place than we've ever been. It's not a great place, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
And
You specifically ask, how do I get over it? I think the first way you start is by accepting you don't have to get over it. You can accept, you can incorporate, you can examine and learn from, but you don't necessarily have to get over it.
Yeah. And I don't think it's a thing you get over. I think it's a thing you learn to carry with you.
Yeah.
And by learning to cope with it, it's a lighter burden to carry.
You sort of shave it off. I think we get this idea that, oh, well, when we go to therapy or when we start sort of experiencing this interiority of processing how our pasts are shaping our present and the impact that may carry on our futures, when we get to that sort of introspective space, whatever method we're using to bring ourselves there, we expect that we get to put these rocks down. These rocks form the basis of us. What we are doing with therapy is not necessarily putting all of them down. Some of them we get to put down because it's silly that we're still carrying them around. Some of them we simply reshape to be more holdable.
Yeah. Some of them were sculpted.
Yeah. And some of them we're
changing
creating works of art with. Some of them we're going to use as tools because it's a useful thing to use. And I'm not saying that, being bitter that, dude, it's not that hard. I figured it out. Like, why couldn't you love me the way I clearly feel the ability to love my kids? This isn't fair. I grew up with a dad who didn't sign up for that. He thought he wanted kids, and it was one of those experiences that, again, I can be empathetic. He thought he wanted kids until he had kids, and then he realized how much it costs to have kids, not just financially, but physically, emotionally. There's a cost. And some of us are more than happy and have plenty of funds to pay. My dad figured out he didn't have those funds. He didn't have it within him to be a father. So he skedaddled, and he thought he was doing his best by me. What he was doing was creating just a big walking female-shaped pile of trauma, but he didn't know that. He thought he was doing his best by me. So I can understand. I see how you got there. You were effing wrong, Dad. You done left up a puddle. That's not what you meant to do, but that was the result. So I can understand where he was coming from. I can understand feeling overwhelmed. I do not forgive him for reacting and to figuring it out.
Forgiveness isn't the only way to have closure with something.
No.
And
because I don't forgive him, but I'm not mad at him either.
And
he just doesn't get my forgiveness. That's a gift that I don't have to give anyone.
Right. And I know in the email too, you said that you do still have them in your life, and I am hoping that means that they've made some sort of progress. And if they have, it might be helpful to sit down and talk to them. And if they haven't, then it's a little trickier to kind of to navigate that space. But I've been navigating that for a long time, and I can tell you that it's possible. Mm-hmm. It is possible to, like, I have both my parents in my life, and a capacity, like not close, but I do talk to my parents now and then. It is more boundaries. Boundaries can help. But I do think as well is that this is only, I am not saying this is what's happening for you, but if we have had similar upbringings, it might be worth sitting with and considering why you feel guilty. Is that a trauma response because you were made to feel guilty as a kid and you are not allowed to be mad at your parents? Because I could tell you, if I wrote this email, it would probably be that for me. Like, it would probably be that. And it's a whole lot to unpack, and you don't have to do it all at once.
And again, if you have access to therapy or a therapist or a counselor, please look into that, especially with feelings like this. They're big, they're heavy. They can be sorted out and arranged in a way that's far more manageable. And
you
therapy helps a lot with that.
You baby step it through therapy until you're ready to do the big stuff. And again, like, I've been in therapy for years and years now, and it has made a world of difference. And Gwenna can attest to that because she's been around.
Yes.
So you're worth it. Like, you are worth taking that time for yourself.
So on that note, we're going to switch to some slightly lighter things.
Yes, we'll end on a lighter note here.
Our timer's about to go off, so let's power through a few more YouTube and Spotify comments. This next one is from Sage the Mage 9870. As someone who never got the chance to watch Glee when I was younger, but was interested enough that I've occasionally thought about looking for it to watch, I'm wondering what episode and season to stop at.
Okay. All right. I got you here. Okay. So I can't tell you the exact season number. It's 4 or 5, I believe, but the episode you're looking for, the name of the episode is called The Quarterback. If you want to be totally devastated, watch that episode. You will cry. Okay. Yeah. It's devastating. But you don't need to watch after that. If you want Glee to
have a happy ending, stop at the episode right before the quarterback.
That's
the end of the show.
That's it. That's
the end of the show.
You honestly don't need to watch this season with the quarterback in it. Now, there's a lot of devastating scenes in Glee. I think there's some that have been beautifully done. But the quarterback itself is not just about the story in the show. Something devastating happened in real life. And they had to cover it in the show. And so the quarterback...
And they did it in the most heartbreaking way possible. So if Glee has a happy ending for you, you did not watch the quarterback.
Yes. Well, we're going to go to something lighter. Let's talk about the quarterback from Glee. Okay.
Our next comment comes from Lucifer Mars.
And Lucifer here is commenting on our media readiness episode where we were talking about how to know if you're ready for things or your kids are ready for things and how we kind of navigate when our kids are having a hard time with a new type of media. And so Lucifer says, I got one of my friends into horror by pointing out actors in the movies and saying, yeah, that's Jensen Ackles. See, he was in Supernatural and he was also in Days of Our Lives. And remembering what else he was in makes it less scary, right? And that was really helpful, and it helped them keep in mind that it was fake. I also explained different movie magic to them, and now they love horror, specifically slasher movies. I love that idea of like bringing up the other actors, like the other places they were in.
Yeah.
That is fun.
Especially when they're playing a super scary character and you can be like, yeah, remember that time they played this one?
Yeah, that's when my eldest started watching Stranger Things. I found that picture of what's his name there getting his makeup on while drinking an iced coffee. And I was like, see, it's not so scary. He just had to sit there.
It's not so bad when Vecna's, drinking a Starbucks half latex.
I love there's multiple views. Was that your dog?
That was my dog. I don't know what they're barking at.
That's the timer.
The dog was the timer.
The dog was the premonition for the timer going off. So thank you, Rosalind, for letting us know what was to come next. Rosalind is the dog, if you didn't know.
Rosalind is the dog, right.
And you know that it was Rosalind barking because Rosalind's a little dog, and little dogs are the loudest.
They are.
They are.
All right. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Childproof and for your support on all of our podcasts on the Pleasant Phantom Productions Network.
We are totally blown away by how many of you have been checking out Founded and Biblophage. And Biblophage has a new episode every 2 weeks. Founded comes out every Friday.
We are so happy you're enjoying all 3 of these podcasts because they are so much fun. Please remember to leave a rating, a review, like, subscribe, mash all the buttons, whatever you're supposed to, whatever the kids are saying these days, so you don't miss an episode. Do those things. Push some things.
And we want to hear from you. So if you want to be included in our next email roundup, send us an email. It could be about anything, or it could be commentary on something we said. Email us. It is childproofmail@gmail.com.
Be sure to subscribe, like, turn on notifications. We already said that, but we have to say it again. On YouTube and Spotify. Remember, we have videos on YouTube and Spotify, but if you're not the video watching kind, you can find us pretty much everywhere you find your favorite podcasts. What else were we supposed to say? Were there links or something we're supposed to mention? Oh, yeah, Bones Coffee.
Yeah, bonescoffee.
Childproof 10.
And remember, sometimes our kids are the assholes.
And sometimes it's us.
It's usually us.
It's usually us. Especially when I cheat at games.
Yeah, especially when we don't know how to structure a note for our own podcast.